so I'm Marcy Hubbard. This is Brite Beauty. We do on-location hair and makeup, specializing in bridal with a flair for pop-ups. And I do hair, and Kayla is our makeup artist and creative director. And she's so very talented. And so Kayla's going to continue to wear her mask. I went ahead and took mine off since I'm behind Gretchen for most of this, and want to be able for you guys to hear me. But ordinarily in our appointments now, moving into this new world, we do wear our masks. We keep everything very sanitized and clean. And then today our model is Gretchen. Hi. So we're going to today, so the way, this is pretty casual. We want you guys to pop questions into the chat box. Randy will be watching for that, posing those questions. We just really wanted to be a resource to you brides, and this is the first time that you're doing this for most of you, and you don't know what to expect, you don't know what to think about. So as you're planning, like, what kind of hairstyle should I wear for my dress, and am I thinking more classic and elegant, or do I want to go more like with the boho vibe? Really like honing into who you are, what the look, aesthetic, theme of your wedding is, and then having hair and makeup match that while bringing out your inner beauty, right? We want to take you from where you are and help you shine bright, so whatever that looks like for you. So she's going to do a more natural bridal rosy look. Is that right, on makeup?
We can do, so rosy and bronze are both always beautiful for bridal. I was customizing this one to be more bronzy, just because of Gretchen and her eye color. So at Brite, we always customize and make sure the look is just the best for you. But I'm doing a little bit of bronzy champagne on the lid, because with the trends and things for this year, you're going to see a lot more like bronzy champagnes, but just really kind of diffuse, so it's not like harsh lines in your eyeshadow. No cutting of the crease or anything. So we're doing a touch of bronzy champagne on the lid, and we're going to do a more, so the skin for like the 2020 kind of bride needs to have more of a creamy, like healthy radiance to the skin. But you know, we're all in Texas, so we get like creamy and glowy. Ain't gonna work on a Saturday in July. So this side we've got just skin is prepped, and I use a really nice glowy moisturizer, and that's gonna like show from within the makeup. And then over here we've done foundation, and so you can see how the glow is still coming from out of that. But in Texas, we do need to mattify all those things, and we'll intentionally put the glow more in here, just so you get a beautiful texture here of shine and healthiness, and then you get a nice matte look here in the center, because this area you naturally get shiny anyway. So we'll control that from the beginning, and then we'll make some progress, and I'll jump back in after Marcy shows her lovely curls happening.
Woo, yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take this hair into a loose, unstructured updo. But to get there, first we want to put curl in the hair. And so not a super tight curl. We're not doing BT waves either. It's just something in between so that we can pull that up and make it really, just a really pretty look for Gretchen. And we're also going to do a little braid here on this side. So right now we're curling, and as far as hair goes, you know, I truly believe, and there's a debate about this, but I really think that day old hair is the best for setting hair. You just have texture to work with. Then we go in with a dry shampoo, a texture spray to give it just some more holding power, a little bit of grip. And I also protect the hair. Right now I'm using the Kenra. It's this heat block spray. Love this stuff. And I spray this on before I curl. It helps hold the curl as well as protect the hair as we're curling. I'm using my T3 iron here.
So Marcy, the look that you're doing on Gretchen today.
Yes.
What looks, or what kind of neckline, I guess, for a bridal gown would that look or hairdo complement?
Ooh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of different dresses that this could go with, but I just kind of yanked there. I think something a little like off the shoulder, maybe a sweetheart neckline, even just something that you really want to show off your gown. So if you have a lot of beading at the top of your gown, like it would
Okay.
be really pretty to have the hair up. Like this is one suggestion I really do give to brides is if you have this beautiful gown with beading and a really pretty neckline, do not cover that up with your hair. Get the hair up because you've spent all this money and time on your dress. Show that dress off. Now, some styles do better with hair down. Like if you have a really deep cut back in your dress and you prefer having your hair down, you feel really comfortable that way, then that would be a look to go with hair down. And also it depends on the style of your wedding. So boho looks are gonna tend to be down. What I'm doing today on Gretchen could also go boho. But if you're going more classic, more elegant side, typically the hair is going to be up for those styles.
Okay, cool.
If your hair is up, make sure, and like Marcy's saying, you're showing the collarbone. Don't forget to add glow to the neckline and the shoulders. You can totally like have your Kim Kardashian moment and body glow it up. So always, glow up the chest. And if your hair is up and you're bronzing the face, make sure that you hit those ears. It's the area I think people forget. You bronze this beautiful face and you're all sun-kissed and then your little white or your off color ears are showing. So make sure to take time for those too. Just the small things like that someone could forget.
Well, it looks like most people that are with us today are going to be wearing a plunging gown, either with the neck or the back. The next one would be sleeveless. So our most is either a plunging neckline or sleeveless gown.
Ooh, I love a good plunging neckline.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so in right now.
So in. So in.
Are
And
there
for y'all that are joining us, please pop your questions into the chat section, and Randy will ask
Oh
us.
yes, for sure. I'm not the only one that can ask questions here. You guys are more than welcome. Send those on in. Marcy, what is I was gonna lead into like how would you match like your hair and your makeup? Like what's kind of like
good.
Great question.
Yeah, that really is good. I'll give like a Hollywood glam example.
Okay.
So if you're doing like Hollywood glam, maybe a deep part, it's going down, you're doing those big waves, then your makeup has to match that. So a really like soft look is not going to play up to that hair and to that look. So you would want to do a little bit more drama. And typically the bride that wants a Hollywood glam hairstyle is also going to want a little bit more drama with the face.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What do you think?
I think that's a great topic because you do want them to go together. And I think they naturally do most of the time with the bride. If she's getting real glam with hair, I feel like the makeup, it somehow just works itself out to be similar and work. But I know we just, again, like we customize so much for each of you that we like to ask, like, what kind of vibe are you going for? And your descriptive words help totally show us.
Oh my gosh.
You know, when someone says glam, that's something Marcy, I always hear asked is like, is it like Hollywood glam? Are we thinking those waves to the hair? And then if that's the case, I'm about 95% sure they're going to want a nice winged liner because it just, and I think a Hollywood glam, that would go with it. But I like to ask for buzzwords like that, like describe to me your vibe, your mood, because the mood, just those words can guide us really well. So even have that in mind instead of a specific look, because when we get shown a picture, sometimes it's not there's better out there for you personally, but when you tell us words, we can get you to that look.
It's definitely a combination, and Kayla, I'm glad that you said that because so to help us help you, and this is for any hair and makeup artist, whoever you're talking to, we're really diligent on our team about asking a lot of investigative questions So we're going to ask you for pictures. We're going to ask you for that language that you see so you can really tell us what your vision is. And the more information you provide, the closer you're going to get to your look. So sometimes people aren't really sure, and that's okay. We can help guide you in that, but you definitely do want to land on your look because you don't want to end up with something that you don't want because you didn't ever find the words or pictures to describe that. And then with pictures, a good artist is going to hone in on details and ask you specifically, what is it about this photo that you like? Because you may have 3 different photos and all vary a little bit. And so it's finding those elements that you love that will help you feel really special for that day.
Yeah, well, I feel like I would definitely have to show pictures because I'm terrible at describing things. So
yes, pictures do help.
yes, pictures are my saving grace. Nicole asked, what about those of us with curly hair?
Yes, queen. Let's talk curls. I love curls. There is nothing I love more than when a client sits down with her beautiful, naturally curly hair and she wants to work the curls into her style. Because there's you just can do such beautiful work with curly hair. I mean, look at me. I'm using an iron to put in the curl, right? So when you start with those gorgeous curls, and we can just go in and make the look perfect for you. And it's really unique too, because not everybody has that option. So if you have naturally curly hair, let's work with that. Mm-hmm. And in fact, if you have naturally curly hair and you rarely straighten it, then you probably should wear it curly for your wedding day. Because think about that. That's how your fiance fell in love with you. You typically wear your hair curly. That's who you are. Why on earth would you straighten it for the biggest day of your life? Like, yeah. Don't you agree? Like,
totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally. And that plays with makeup too. Like if you don't naturally go to wearing a red lip, it's not the day to try it.
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah. That's not, but that's also why we like to do trial runs. So always do a trial run.
Please.
That helps you go into your day feeling the most peaceful you could ever feel, and us too. So we go into that knowing just who we've already seen. Like we built this relationship with you, you know?
Definitely. Claire asked, what about working in accessories to your hairstyle, a flower crown, or even something like working in a strand of pearls?
Oh, yes. In fact, we have some accessories that we're going to put in her hair. And again, the same advice would go for what you're choosing. Make sure that it goes with the theme with you. So, just keeping that in mind with the flowers, with the hair accessory. But then once you have it in place, then once you have it with you, we'll definitely incorporate that into the style. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can do a flower crown. You could do, a greenery crown. You can do pearls within the strand of pearls. That's great. There's lots of things you could do with that to wrap it in your style. Just be sure that you tell your hairdresser that you have that before you get going so that they can plan for that as they're creating the style.
So you would suggest either bringing it to like the trial run or, talking about it, that you want something.
Yes, absolutely. Bring it to the trial and if you don't have it yet, sometimes brides won't have their hairpiece just quite yet, but they have an idea that they want one. Definitely discuss that. And then also the veil. What kind of veil are you wearing? That's going to be important to incorporating that into the style. So be sure to tell your artist if you're wearing a veil, and if so, what does that veil look like and where do you want it seated? I had a call with a girl the other day and she was like, I definitely want my veil low. And that's kind of more the trend now, but then some brides do want it higher on their heads. So definitely kind of play around with that. Know what you want for that.
Yeah, now
great question.
Yes, and now I have one which I can totally relate to. So Molly said, what about really thin or straight hair? I didn't
extensions are your best friends.
Yes.
And the wind is crazy. So she's like, hopefully it's not as windy on the actual day, but any advice for helping your hair last the entire day would be great.
What was that last part?
So it was just like a windy day for her bridal portraits. And so she's wondering, just like any advice on helping your look last the entire day. She has thin and straight hair.
Okay, perfect. So do some clip-in extensions. You don't have to go commit to full extensions. I mean, that is an option if that's something you're considering, but I wouldn't get extensions if you're only wanting it for the photos, for the day, for the experience. Do the clip-ins, and that's going to give you a lot of volume, and it's going to give you, it's just going to really help with the look. I love putting extensions in the hair. And then it'll also help with like that windy day situation, just because you have more hair, and those extensions really do hold a curl, hold the style really well too. Like I always finish off, I call it the glue, the style, so that at the end, it's not like actual glue, right? But it really just does help set the style. We spray that at the end. And then just kind of, just like knowing what you're going into. So, if you know your photos are going to be outdoors and it's going to be super windy that day, discuss that with your artist, because there may be some changes you may need to make. And if you're wearing your hair down, you might avoid the lip gloss that day.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So Kayla, what are you doing over there on makeup?
I love that you mentioned the gloss thing, because thankfully enough, the trend with lips and whatnot this year, like in that bridal world, is more so a stained. So for your special day, you can don't throw it out in case you love it. But and this is something too. Trends come and go, so you also want to know what you love, so you don't have to do what the trend is, quote unquote. But the lips and everything, what kind of has been seen more is not the super matte look. It's more this like glowy, this beautiful version of your own lips. That therein lies where, well, how long will it wear? But stains are a great option. We've even been looking up some great options, because they're kind of needed more so than never. But lip stains are actually going to be a really big trend for bridals this year.
Love that. And actually, Kayla and I chatted a little bit about this. By next month, we are going to relaunch a couple of our favorite lipsticks. We had lipsticks, and then we discontinued to really focus on our service, but we're going to bring our favorites back. We have 2 stains and 2 glosses that are absolutely gorgeous, very soft, bridal, beautiful. So
and stay forever.
Forever. They won't come off.
That is so, so fun. I know we were talking about trends just a little bit. So what kind of other like bridal trends, hair or makeup, are you guys seeing this season?
Kayla, you want to talk makeup first?
Yeah. I think just mentioning again, like how the skin, we're seeing it's very, like, it's like you, honestly. So making sure it's a lot of like more so incorporating even texture. So texture being something creamy. So maybe, yes, you want a matte look, so it's going to wear for you a really long time. But also being intentional about placing highlight. I'll show you all even. So the skin is going to be more matte, more like in here, in the nose, because it needs to last. But like this top of the cheek here is such a beautiful placement, and the light hits that. So if you highlight here with a cream or a liquid, it's going to just give this such a great glow. And this area of the skin doesn't get oily. So you can go in there with something that's creamy, because in here it's going to be matte. And so when you see like the cream against the matte texture, it's even more beautiful because they're playing off of each other. And that's what creates modern looking skin, is when there's different textures. It's not head to toe foundation, head to toe powder, and you're mattifying and layering all of these things on top of each other. It's about incorporating texture.
That's good advice.
Yeah. A little advice you can use on your daily makeup too.
Kayla teaches me all the things makeup.
Love the makeup.
Like, teach me all the things.
Marcy, going into hair, what would you say your trends that you're seeing?
So I would say it's really like, okay, so there's a few different things that we see over and over again. And I would say either that really classic, beautiful, elegant chignon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That is like
Those.
hot. The other one would be something kind of like what I'm doing now, which is it's just like a combination between like a boho and more classic updo. So it's a little softer, looser, more unstructured. And then another thing would be, of course, the boho loose waves. We're really moving away from the curls. Now, if you love like to do a curl like curling iron, not natural curls, again, that's a different conversation. We'll come back to that. But the for the beach waves, do like the beach waves where the ends are left straight, the half up, half down with a really pretty, like even what we have right now on Gretchen.
Mhm.
I could pull this in, do a rope twist or a braid to the back. I would straighten out these ends just a little bit more maybe, and then do a hair piece. That would be really pretty, very soft, that boho look. And then for the natural curl, something that is so beautiful is to get that hair just up off the nape just a little bit, let some tendrils fall. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That sounds gorgeous. We just had a poll question on what people are going to wear their hair like, either up, down, half up. So I'm curious to see. We had a makeup question.
Makeup question.
Yes, Claire has lots of freckles and she doesn't love covering those in a full face of foundation. Is it possible to still accentuate things like that and still look covered /
Yes, Claire, you're my friend. I love freckles, and I have freckles, and I love to show them. They're on my nose, and on my cheeks a little. There is definitely a way to show them, and I actually like airbrush a lot because I can airbrush parts of the face and then leave parts of the face exposed, and it's really, really beautiful with showing off freckles. But okay, what I recommend with showing freckles is starting in the areas where you actually might need a little makeup, and then going to the area of the freckles last, because of when you get these other areas evened out and then the freckles are showing through, you'll just realize you don't even need any makeup on them sometimes. So that is so okay. So just, you don't have to cover your freckles, and I would prefer that you didn't.
That was a question made for you.
Yeah, and cream product is really great if you don't want to wear much makeup at all, because like a cream blush, for example, would lay on the cheek, but let the skin underneath it show through instead of like powder muddying up your freckle. And you don't want to use things that are too cool tone, like a purpley pink would make your freckle look gray, but something peachy would be beautiful. Yeah.
That's
Wow,
good.
that is all great insight. I have no freckles. I wish I did, but that is all really, really great insight. Have you guys seen those faux freckles that people are doing now?
Yes, there's even I don't know the company, but you can use eyebrow pencils a lot. The ones that are a liquid pencil, it's like a pen with the felt tip. You can use those and like dot freckles on your cheeks too.
Oh my gosh, that is so, love it.
So Claire, look at that. Everybody wants your freckles. So
Yes, we all do. Okay, since we're kind of like on the topic of makeup a little bit, what do you guys think about false lashes?
Ooh,
Always. And I know, like, when you think about it, you're like, well, I don't wear them, but kind of thing. You can do like little bitty individuals too. Just something, because your real lashes in a photo they're just not going to be enough. And it doesn't mean you have to wear a really heavy eyelash at all. We don't want that. You want to feel comfortable. And I'm thinking on your wedding day is the last time, like, you don't want to be worrying about an eyelash falling off or any of those kind of things. So you want it to be comfortable, and please be like, feel like you can tell your makeup artist that. You can tell you've hired that person to be there with you, and you can tell them this lash doesn't feel comfortable, and ask them to show them where it should feel like it's not even there.
And for
What
those
do you guys think about like extensions versus just like the strips?
Okay, extensions I think are a great idea because of the honeymoon, and then you can wake up and you don't have to worry about like all the makeup. I will still say, if they, I've even had people with extensions still want lashes because they wear their extensions every day. So people are still used to them every day. And it's like, they still need a little oomph for the picture.
So true.
Yeah.
And also can like think about you as a person and what you want to maintain. So lash extensions are awesome. They're great. I love them, but you have to keep up with them, right? So it's a longer term commitment. So do you want them for the honeymoon and after? And do you want the expense of the lashes? And so if you're just wanting, kind of like the hair extensions, right? What do you what do you want them for? Are you gonna want them for a longer term? Then think about that.
And if you don't wear lashes or lash extensions and those kind of things on a daily basis, I would just like skip it and have the fake lashes for the wedding day because you're gonna get them anyway for the wedding day. Even if you had lash extensions, we'd still want to put lashes on you because it really does make a difference in pictures.
Yes.
Well, luckily, most of our viewers are pro lashes. Are pro
Yes.
Yes.
We all love them here.
We are too.
The lashes.
We're going to go back a little bit to the airbrushing. I got a question about airbrush.
Yes.
So Alyssa, she heard really good things about airbrush. So she's wondering how much does that run for day of makeup? And she's also wanting a romantic updo for the ceremony, but she's wearing a flower crown for the reception. So I guess it's kind of like a two-part question. So let's go with the airbrush first, about how much does that run for a day of makeup?
So let's first talk about the benefits of airbrush. And actually, Kayla, why don't you start with that?
The benefits of airbrush is you're getting a very, very flawless, beautiful finish, but without the feeling of product. You're not going to feel like it's a layer on the skin. It's just going, because this type of makeup is going to feel a little like it's there, but with airbrush, it's more lightweight because the micronized pigment to it. So there you go. Less, a beautiful finish with less product.
Long wearing, which is what the brides love. They love that long wear for it. For us, it's $30 more and definitely worth it. If you're a little bit unsure, I say schedule it for your trial. Have that conversation with your artist, and your artist is the expert. They'll tell you, like, you know what, maybe you're not a great fit for airbrush. Occasionally that happens, but that's where they're going to come in with their expertise. And then try it. Chances are you're going to love it. So, yeah. Okay, what was the second part to that question?
The second part was about hair. So she's wanting a romantic updo for the ceremony, but she's wearing a flower crown for the reception. She would like a style that would fall prettily for the reception. Any ideas?
So that's great because that order works. So having it down with the flower crown for the ceremony makes sense, and then taking it into an updo for the reception.
Opposite.
Yeah, so then you can just do a quick transition. Just be aware of your like artist timing. Make sure that it's opposite. Okay, so for opposite, that's a little more challenging because if you're taking it from up to down, it can be done, but I would definitely experiment with it first. We've done that before.
What kind of, do you know, like maybe what an updo that may fall really easily down, or probably nothing, maybe with like a scrunchie or I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing with a hair tie, or I don't know.
So nothing, yeah, you want to keep it soft. I wouldn't do a braid because you're going to put creases in the hair. I just really keep it soft and loose and bring it back so that way there's less creases, there's less pin, and work it that way.
Love it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you guys. About the hair, makeup, what stage are you guys at now?
So I realize I can't talk without talking with my hands, so I keep stopping. Kayla's doing a much better job of keeping it moving.
No, I'm keeping it moving a little. I'm just mattifying right now the center part of the face, like I mentioned earlier to do. Keeping this area more velvety matte, and this area is going to have that glow. We haven't got to brows yet. I actually like to do brows more towards the end. There's times I'll like forget and just because the brow may be incredible and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me get to that brow. But I'm waiting towards the end more so because whenever I do a brow first, it actually blocks off how wide you can take your shadow. Because the eye shape is larger than what you always see. And so if I were to have went in here and sculpted this brow out, it would have limited me from being able to like go in with a little bit of even this bronzer. And I was just sweeping out the edge of that so the shadow doesn't stop suddenly. It gradually fades off. And I hate when eyeshadow just kind of like for pictures and those type of things, you don't want it to just suddenly stop. The camera will read that as a line. And so if I were to have done that brow first, it really would have limited me to like right there. And so I want to sweep it out so it just fades off into her bone structure. But that is the stage I'm at. So we'll get to brows next and a little more mascara underneath on the bottom lashes. And we'll talk about some lips.
Ooh, can't wait for that. So I went ahead and put in a braid. We did a Dutch, finishing that out, and then I'm gonna pancake this out. So do you guys know what pancaking the braid means?
Is that just like where you spread it?
Yes, girl. And it gives it that big, full, voluminous braid. So we're just
Look at me knowing my terms.
Yeah, good job.
Randy, you get an A. A plus for Randy. Yep, so we're gonna pancake this out, and then I'm gonna wrap the rest of it into an updo, and get this on top.
Oh, we got a great question here from Mackenzie.
Hey, Mackenzie.
Love questions.
Okay, so she's actually getting married Saturday.
Congratulations!
Yay, congrats!
First, huge congratulations there. And so 2 weeks ago, her hair and makeup artist pulled out. So she needs some tips for hiding a sunburn. How do I know where to highlight? Like kind of give her some tips on, she's doing it on her own now.
Okay, well, we're available. We have artists available. So, honey, you don't have to do it on your own.
Oh my gosh, I would love to do your makeup for your wedding.
Yes, we're just starting pickup, so we're available. But yeah, do you have some tips for that? Okay.
Tell me, where's your sunburn at? How does it look? What are we working with?
I'll give her a few minutes to reply. Tell us where.
Yeah.
Just in general, what would you say, like a green?
Well, with sunburn, I would, because it's red, and you don't really want to put makeup on it because then it looks like sunburn with makeup. Is it your chest that's sunburn, or both, face and? I'm thinking.
Kayla's wheels are
I'm
turning.
really, I know, I'm visual, so I'd have to see it, but what I would go to would probably be like a really sheer wash of foundation that would be like a tinted moisturizer to see if that just neutralizes you.
Yeah, so it's on her neck and back. She got burned on Monday. It was a nice day, so I will say.
I would say that. Just something that's like more sheer, because if you're putting makeup all over that and it's a heavy makeup, it's going to get on your dress. It's inevitable. And on people that you're trying, you're just being near. But something like a tinted moisturizer would be light enough. Gosh, I'm even thinking just a good, like a super, super sheer at-home self-tanner that has very like light, minimal color might help just even that. But the only way to match it specifically to your face and your neck would be to wear like a dark foundation, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would just try to gradually use bronzer from the chin down to the neck to even that and make it look like it's the same tone, and then sweep it a little up to the jaws so it's like kind of just gradually blending. But on the body, I would use a very sheer tinted moisturizer with a little color to it to make it at least look even. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love that.
I hope that helped.
Yes, if you have some more questions after that, type it in here. I'll ask. A lot of so we did a poll asking when people are getting married, and most of them said in the summer. Do you guys just have any overall tips for summer looks, colors to use, hairstyles? What do you guys think about summer weddings?
For hair, just make sure, you know, that this humidity, you've got to consider that, and it's going to be hot, and especially if you're going to be outdoors at all. So I really would suggest to get the hair up, plus you be hot. And yeah, just get the hair up.
Yep.
In some way, even if you don't want to do up, then do a half up situation, but get it off of you, so you don't have to worry about it worry about it falling.
Do it in a cute little, what is it, a chignon, like you said? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yes.
But we're gonna do a little bit looser one. So we're getting the base for it here.
Yeah. And then with makeup, like Marcy was saying, the same with hair, it's going to be hot. So I would just go with that type of weather from the beginning, and, you know, just use things that are real pretty and creamy, a little glowy on the eyelids, because if you're starting with something that's really, really matte, it feels a little out of the element because the season is warm. And so, like, go with the bronzy or the champagne and those, it's like more of a texture thing. Go with things that have glow to them because you're going to have a glow anyway. So I would just start that from the get-go.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't want to get too glowy to begin with, right?
Right. And so that's going to be real important to wear your face primer. Airbrush is really great for that. Yeah, for sure. Do like an oil control lotion maybe in the center of the face. But yeah, face primer for sure, and a setting spray. Setting spray for sure.
Will the setting spray help with like needing touch-ups after the hair and makeup team is gone?
It will. The setting spray will help keep that finish of that it looks like from the beginning. It'll help keep that longer, looking like that. So looking like that longer. Something like, you know, Urban Decay makes one called All Nighter that's great. I like one that just Morphe makes that's really great. There's a couple out there, but a setting spray will keep that texture when the artist is done the same after they're gone. So keep with you, like, I think a touch-up powder is great, just if you don't like that shininess, because it'll happen even when you're dancing around, you know, you're at the reception, and you may by that time have forgotten even about that you're a little shiny, but having a touch-up powder, like, I think most of us should have one of those anyway in our bag or around the house. It could be colorless.
Yes, an essential.
Moment.
Let's go ahead and talk about some skin prep. How do you guys suggest that brides to be prep their skin before their day?
Oh, okay. So we'll talk about brows first. Do not have your brows waxed the day before your wedding, because this skin, if you had that wax, it leaves the skin so smooth that makeup doesn't stick to it. So don't do any facial waxing, nothing like that. Do that the beginning of your wedding week, please. So then everything will hold better on your skin. I mean, just out of pure, you need to have it done to treat yourself. I think everyone should have a facial, like facial, hydrofacial, just something that, and I would do that not the week of, just because that can bring out impurities in your skin, which is a good thing. But if you're doing that the week of, I can guarantee you'll have a breakout here and there. Not like a big breakout, but you'll have a couple little things pop up because that was trying to get things out of the skin. And there may be a couple of things that didn't make it all the way out. So do that the week before.
Don't start anything new. You said that.
Oh yeah, don't start together. No, that one I didn't share yet. That's good. Okay. That's a good reminder. Don't start any like new skincare routine or anything new that's like detoxing your body or something. It may cause something to detox out. So, which can create breakouts.
Yeah.
It's detoxing.
So that's not the time to start a retinol treatment.
Nope, definitely not.
2 weeks in now.
Nope, definitely not.
Do all those things way before.
Yep.
What about hair? Should you get like your hair colored, cut, or anything before?
Yeah, definitely make sure your color is fresh. You don't want roots on your wedding day, right? But do that. I'd do that like a week before, maybe even 2 weeks before would be fine. Trim a light trim, very light. You might not even cut it the time you get your color. You might go ahead and do your trim like 6 weeks before, 4 weeks. It depends on your hairstyle, but if you have a little bit longer hair, then don't do that right before. And then make sure you've done some good conditioning treatments. Talk with your regular stylist about what they recommend for that prep, whether it be, you know, a hair mask or something like that. And yeah, any other, Kayla, can you think of
Those are
anything
good.
else for hair?
No.
Okay.
But those are all good.
Those are
Oh,
great.
and then the day of, you like it dirty. You like a little dirty hair.
A little dirty.
Mhm.
Yeah, stay
Real dirty.
We've got a few questions over here. Tips for teasing thick hair, best hairsprays or combs to use.
These are great questions.
They are. Okay, so I really like this little Fave 4 little teasing brush. Another one that I have right this second, it's a 3-prong. You can get it at Sally's. It's a little cheapy. It's a great one though for teasing. Just a traditional teasing comb. I use this a lot because I'll tease and then go with the ends that way. It's, oh my gosh, what's the name of that thing? I have it over there in my
Oh,
kit.
you do.
It's
Is it in the bag or the
you know what? You'd have to dig. Let's just keep going. I'll you know what? We can like links to everything we're using so that y'all can have that. But it's a little like brush comb that you can tease out if you need to get really in there and create some larger volume. And then products, dry shampoo, texture spray. I love the Amika Kenra Fave.
Yes, I like that one too.
This texture powder is great. I'm almost out of this one, but it's not like my little Kenra texture powder. It's a great one too. Good questions.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We've got another one, which we may have touched on a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it again just in case. So concerns about makeup lasting all day, but not being so matte and powdered that it creases by the reception.
It lasts all day. It doesn't crease. Probably, let's see. I would make sure that there's skin prep happening. So primer, so that it's more like those invisible steps that aren't adding tons of makeup. So primer, doesn't crease.
Translucent powder helps with that,
So I'm
right?
thinking, I don't ever hear any other brides say that these increase. I wonder, yeah, like a setting powder.
Usually if the makeup's done well, you don't have a lot of
I've
creasing,
not had
right?
increasing. Yeah, I would say just that setting spray will be key because that's going to make everything blend together. Setting spray holds things in place, but also it helps diffuse. If you had like contour and highlight and all these products, it would help melt them together.
Would you prime?
Go ahead.
I also got the question, would you prime under the eyes besides moisturizing well?
No, I don't. Just I moisturize, and then I have a long wearing concealer. Oh, there you go. Product is key. Foundation, things that are long wearing is going to be your best friend. So 24-hour wearing product, 10-hour wearing. But normally we don't get people ready that early. We don't like to do things more than like a 4 to 5 hour window. That's about 4 to 5 hour window for like from start to then your getting ready time. And then maybe your wedding and everything is about an hour after that.
Maybe she's seeing like reception time and all that.
I know, I'm like, if you see anything, if your makeup naturally does that, like it wouldn't do it. But if you naturally have issues with your makeup, you may want to have just a touch-up powder on hand.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you don't want to do a powder, so I'm super into creams and liquids, so I keep a concealer that's a stick. And when I want to touch up, I only touch up concealer, and it's creamy, so it doesn't look powdery. And then I just press it in, like I would put the concealer, and then I would use my finger, and I would just press. So it then blends into my skin, because the thing that's happening, it's creasing because there's too much on your skin. Because it's settling. That's what's happening. If it's creasing, it's settling down into little spots. So it may just even be to take a clean sponge and to press off the excess. And that could just at least expose a little skin that would look really pretty too.
Are we working on those eyebrows? Let's see those eyebrows.
Yes, she has amazing brows, so I just tried to really lightly fill them in here and there, and then I put a clear on top. I love this clear. This one's by Anastasia, and then just brushed up those hairs.
Gretchen, you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Will there be an email with links of these products you're recommending, especially the creamy concealer?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in fact, we'll do a whole like Brides of North Texas vlog and put all links of products and just kind of an overview about what we did. Randy, does that work for you? Like we do a blog post, link y'all into that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then we can include that in an email too. Yeah. Good, love that. I know there's nothing worse when you hear about all this good stuff and then you're like, wait, what was
Yeah,
that?
you're like, where did I get it?
Yes. Links. Everybody
Awesome.
loves a good link.
All the links, yes.
Okay, and everyone repeat your names for Alyssa here today. So we've got Gretchen, who's modeling.
Yes. Gretchen modeling.
We've got Marcy back there with hair.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Doing some hair up.
Kayla, hello.
Makeup.
Yes.
And they're all with Brite Beauty.
Brite Beauty. We have over 25 talented hair and makeup artists. So that's the beauty of having a big, large team, is that we can serve your needs and take care of you on your wedding day. So I finished up this, almost finished. We're just going to do some final touches on this updo. It's just something
Good.
you love.
I love it.
It does look so pretty. Oh, I
Yes,
love
it's so funny. Gretchen has actually modeled for us before.
Oh my God.
She did a fun little shoot with us at the Statler. It was kind of like a little bachelorette type shoot. It was so fun.
Love that. Yes, because Gretchen also works for Lushra, our friends over at Lushra.
Yes,
Installs, they're amazing.
they are. They're so amazing.
So we are finishing her off with a really pretty lip that's not too purpley pink, but just a nice, kind of like warm pink, but just kind of it's bridal, but it's also one you would actually wear every day, so you'd feel comfortable in it. Pat together for me. I always like to start with some lipstick because it helps to just give me a texture that the liner can glide through too. But if I line first, I normally can, I can get a little overboard and make the lips a little too luscious. But that's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
So I like to do lipstick first, and then I will outline it and create the shape that we need.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little fun trick. Okay, so this is basically a dark shadow. It may be even like it's a brow duo. And I'm taking the brush here. So for brunettes, and sometimes blondes too, you want to fill in the hairline sometimes where you pulled it back. And something that's going to just be really natural and wear in. So see right around here on this hairline, I'm going to take this brown powder and work it in so that in the photos, right, that all just is seamless as that scalp is showing right there. See how that little magic trick just is everything?
That's so good.
That is genius. Genius.
Yes. This is great, especially like if you have a really tight, just every day, like let's say you've pulled your hair back in a pony,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe it's a little bit sleeker and you've got that line. It's great to go in with the powder and fill it in.
I'm not a professional, but sometimes in the past I've just used like eyeshadow, like a dark brown to match my hair, and I'll just go in and then fill it in.
So good.
That's fine. That's a great
Tips and
trick.
tricks for the everyday.
Yes. Well, that's too. I think wedding makeup is an enhancement of what you would do on a daily basis, what makes you feel most like yourself.
Yes.
So just like an elevated version of yourself. We're just going to spray and set it.
Oh, this is
Yes.
right. This is where I get down.
Yep. All of us.
You did it right.
Yes. There forever. All day.
And most of our women are doing like a pinky lip for their day.
Yeah. Yep. I think the pinky, like a little pink in your lip color is a great idea. I like something with a touch of pink. I think just trying them out is great, especially when you have a trial run. A lip is so easy to then try a different one. It's not like it's stamped on there. So if you're like, sometimes the pinks can be too purple. So that's a product and a feature that you can try different ones.
Gretchen, are you going to go on a virtual date today or what?
Say what?
Are you going to go on a virtual date tonight or what? You're all ready.
I need to. I need to go get a margarita and go on my virtual date.
I love it. And are you just doing a mascara? Or are you going to be putting some falsies on her or?
Oh, we could totally do some falsies. I will show you all the difference of why you need them in your life.
So that made me think of one thing. When you're doing your trial, definitely make use of it. Use it when you're going to have bridal portraits done, or maybe some other sort of photography, or even just like a fun night of some sort. But it's nice when you can use that trial for something else. So bridal portraits, it's great to do with that.
So I have a question.
Okay.
In regards to false lashes. This has never happened to me, but some people do not like the glue.
Okay. That's
Like, what do you do in that case?
There's several different glues out there. I normally make sure, well, I don't know even normally, I ask if people are allergic to latex, because that's the first thing. Because there's latex in a lot of glues that can be irritating. That's one of those things too, like I was saying, don't, get your brows done a couple of days before your big day. If you can, do the lashes on your trial run. Actually, yeah, just do the lashes on your trial run, because you'll be able to even see how they wear on you and see how you like them. That trial run, y'all, is just crucial. It's so great to be able to try those things beforehand, because you just might not know until, you have them on. So for sure, try the lashes out.
Yay, Marcy, you doing some final touches?
Yes.
So good.
Yay! I tell you what, getting back in the game after, I'll tell you, during quarantine, I know Kayla did too. We kept up our skills. So I was on that mannequin, on my family, like anywhere I could do hair, I was doing it. I know Kayla was doing a lot of makeup too, but it's been nice to get back into the swing of things and make sure we still have it.
Yep. Keep our skills sharp.
That's right.
We'll always have it, but 2 months in quarantine, people could get a little rusty.
Yeah.
We definitely stayed inspired.
Okay, so this powder, the only downside sometimes is when you put it on, it falls. So I'm like, I'm sorry about your shirt. It's okay.
So what I do first with lashes, and open for me and look right here. You want to always measure them, because not every eye is going to be able to hold an entire eyelash on them. And so look at me. So if you notice, this hangs off. So that's what it would look like if your artist was like, oh no, you can do it all, I'm not going to cut it. It would be totally wrong. It would make your eye look down like it's descending, and that's not the goal. So I see that, and I'm going to trim off a notch on the side. So now, just getting some glue on it. So then I'm going to get that on there. down that one for me. Awesome. So that's what it should look like and not hanging over the edge.
Oh yeah, and let's just see that difference. The one lash.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at
Right?
that.
Compared to, and that's just in
Makes
a picture, you're gonna want that.
All the difference.
Definitely.
And I always give them just a little squeeze because they can grab onto your real one that way, and they feel just like they're yours. Look for me.
Gretchen, your real lashes are almost as long as those.
Thank you.
Yep.
I've been quarantined. I literally never wore makeup. I think this is the first time probably in like 2 months. So I feel like my eyelashes got to grow and this is my comeback.
Corona comeback.
Yes.
Okay, so real. But that is why you want to wear lashes, ladies.
I totally agree.
Yeah, any other questions about makeup?
Let me see. I may have some for myself.
Everyone's gonna go and get lashes and try them now.
But really,
Start with the clear glue though.
Oh, that is so key. Yes, I have the dark glue in my kit because I like the darker glue. But for the times that when you're first trying them out, there's clear glue, and it's great, and it dries clear. And if you get the dark glue in your eyeshadow, you actually see it. So get the clear glue if you're trying them by yourself.
oh, I do have a question. Okay. So how can you carry the look throughout the bridal party?
Oh, that is
That's a
such
a good question.
That is such a good question, and that is definitely a
Mhm.
conversation that needs to be had. So
Yep.
definitely chat with your artist, the lead artist, because all brides are different, first of all, and some brides will say whatever the bridesmaids want to do with their hair and makeup is fine with me, and other bridesmaids will say no, I want all their hair up or all their hair down, and I want all their makeup to look like this, right? So that's the starting point. And then from there, you really have to make sure that the looks are all cohesive. So for example, with hair, maybe one of the bridesmaids is like, oh, I want to do this really boho, like let's do half down, half up, flowers in it, braids, the whole bit. But the bride is doing more of a classic wedding and a classic look on her. It's not going to really be conducive. It's not going to flow. So that is so important. And then and same on makeup. Like
Same with makeup. Yeah, I would either keep it in like a brown neutral family, or you're gonna have a mauve neutral family and pinky family, and then it needs to be consistent with all of them because your pictures. You want to look like the same wedding party, and if you can, encourage all bridesmaids to have hair and makeup done.
oh my gosh,
That
is the biggest thing.
Because it's really, it is challenging when their pictures come back and not everyone looks consistent. And we really want to be there for your entire wedding party.
And like literally, we're not just saying this because I mean, of course, we would love to do your whole wedding party, but we've seen it happen, and we get it. Like budgets are to be considered for sure. We get that. But like I was at doing a bridal party once, and the girl wasn't used to doing her makeup, and she tried contour for the very first time, the bridesmaid, and she had this, it was just a mess, and because she didn't know what she was doing. And then she was trying to fix her own makeup, and then the ones that had their makeup done, it was very obvious that it was professional. So just keep in mind, like these are your pictures that you're gonna have the rest of your life, and so you really do want everybody to look their best. Oh, like Gretchen.
Yes.
And maybe all bridesmaids look like Gretchen. I don't know. Do you hire out as a bridesmaid?
Hey, that would be a genius idea.
That's a whole new business we're starting.
Bridesmaids for hire. Yes, bridesmaids for hire.
Does location matter to the style at all, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, I would say definitely. So if you're on a beach versus, you know, if you're going to be more like a country barn versus you're going to be at the Adolphus, right? Typically, if you're at the Adolphus, you're going to be more of a classic, elegant bride. if you're doing the white barn, that could kind of go either way. It just really depends. And if you're on the beach, if we're traveling to you, that's going to be more of like a beachy look. You wouldn't want to go too structured with that.
I agree. I think it's funny how it happens, because normally even the mood of the makeup and hair is a representation of even the venue. It's all the bride.
All ties together.
Yeah, it's like the bride thinks this, and that's her vibe.
Yep.
She's boho bride, and she wanted even the flowers, like everything that has a look.
It does. It's so true. Typically, when I'm talking to a bride and I find out their venue, I usually have a pretty good idea from that second, like who they are as a bride. I mean, it just depends, but a lot of times that does tell a lot. Good question. Yeah.
Okay, well, all of our viewers, I want to just give you guys a chance to ask any last minute questions before we wrap everything up. I'll go ahead and just ask my last question, see if anybody else pops in with one as well. Are you available to stay through ceremony to do the change for the reception? How do you guys do that if a bride wants 2 different looks?
Absolutely, we can absolutely do that. We do that for brides sometimes. So from once everyone is finished, then an artist can stay, and that goes just like, as far as pricing, it goes to an hourly rate. So you're just paying for the artist to be there during the time, right? Because that person's going to be there throughout the ceremony to change you over to the reception look. Also, sometimes people will ask that we stay until the ceremony starts. So that's an option as well. But typically we finish hair and makeup about 2 hours before the ceremony, just so that gives you time for pictures to get tucked away before guests start arriving. We always defer to the planner and the photographer on that, and you, of course, for what works best for you. But it's usually like that 2 hour window.
We love Chick-fil-A.
Listen,
no, whatever. But we love for food.
Love to get the Chick-fil-A, and we love it when they offer us a chicken nugget. Even though we don't usually take the time to eat.
Yeah, normally we don't have time to do it.
Yeah, we make our own nugget on the way out.
Yep. We'll work for food.
We'll work for food. I love that.
Okay, well, Marcy, do you want to show us the final look and then kind of just tell everyone again your name, business, where they can contact you, book you, all the things?
Absolutely. I was just about to, I forgot we had these little.
Because a majority of these people have not booked their beauty team.
Well, come on, ladies. You found us now. We got you. So, yes, here's the look. And then we are Brite Beauty. You can find us on Instagram, brite.beauty. And then britebeauty.com is our website. It's BRITE.
Ooh, love the little pearls going on.
I would give a quick disclaimer with makeup. I know you may hear a lot, well, I don't wear much makeup or something. Like that may be something we've heard. In pictures, it will photograph incredibly, but in person, it may feel like a little more. So what you all are seeing is probably more than Gretchen wears, but it's videoing like very beautifully. So it'll feel a little bit more, but that's okay. God, it won't feel like too heavy if that's what you're not used to. But.
Oh my God, she looks amazing.
Beautiful.
So gorgeous.
Yes, I love this look.
Perfect. Okay, this has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely was. I'm so excited that we got to do this.
Yeah, I hope that helps a lot of the brides out there. We just adore you all. So
we do.
Yeah.
We really do. It's fun for us to help you think through these questions and be a resource to you. More than just coming in and slapping it on. Like, we really want to have that conversation. Yeah.
Yes, well, thank you guys for doing this. And thank you to the viewers for joining in. And we hope to do more of these.
Yes, let's do it anytime. Listen, we love to play in hair and makeup. We're always down.
That's what I like to call a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Woo!